Kindergarten. One autumn morning, Dolly knocked excitedly on Berry's door. "Come quickly, Berry, or we'll be late." Berry got ready and the two friends held hands and walked to the nursery together. Lots of little children were gathered in the playground. They were all so happy to see each other. There was Balthazar the bee, Flutter the butterfly, Stanley the stag beetle, Eddie the potato beetle, Zephyr the dragonfly, Alfonso the cricket, Leapy the grasshopper, and Bubble the baby beetle. Mrs. Bumblebee patiently guided everybody into their classrooms. The little, middle and top children went into different rooms. Bubble was in the little group. He waved to Berry and Dolly from the doorway. The day started with exercises. After breakfast, the children made beautiful pictures using the leaves they collected in the woods. When everybody had finished, Mrs. Bumblebee gathered the children in a circle. She taught them lots of songs and games. The children all danced around. Then it was playtime. Mrs. Bumblebee sat in a rocking chair and watched the children. Berry and the boys ran straight over to the car box and started playing cars. They built ramps and tunnels. "Can I join in, boys?" Dolly asked. She was holding a broken red car. "Oh no, Dolly, you can't play cars with that old thing," Berry told her. "And anyway, cars are for boys, not girls." That made Dolly cry. "The boys don't want to play with me," she told Flutter. Flutter, Leapy and Zephyr quickly cheered her up. "Come and play with us. We're playing with dolls." The girls dressed their dolls in pretty dresses, fed them and rocked them to sleep. Dolly liked this game a lot. Then Berry got into an argument with Morris the Maybug. "You keep knocking my car over. It's not fair. You're a cheat," Berry shouted. "That's not true. You're a cheat," replied Morris. "That's it. I'm not playing with you anymore," Berry said sulkily and left the boys. "Can I join in your game?" Berry asked his friend Dolly. "You can't play with us. It's a girls' game," Dolly sulked. "But I brought this doll with me. It's got curly hair. I want to play with you." "All right, come and play with us. But now you have to let me play cars with you." "Children, time to wash your hands," Mrs. Bumblebee shouted. "Then go and sit down at the tables." Mrs. Earwig, the dinner lady, dished up their dinner. When everybody had finished eating, Berry and Dolly collected up all the plates and glasses. Then the children had a little lie down while Mrs. Bumblebee read them a story. They all listened in silence, and a few of them fell fast asleep. When they got up, they all had a snack and went out into the playground. It was enormous and filled with all kinds of slides, climbing frames and swings, with a big wooden train in the middle. Berry and Morris quickly made friends again and played on the swings together. Dolly helped Bubble up the slide and caught him at the bottom. Bubble liked that a lot. The rest of the day flew by, and soon the children were waving goodbye to each other. They couldn't wait for tomorrow to come. Harry Hedgehog's birthday. One summer morning, Berry the snail, Dolly the ladybird and their forest friends were playing in the meadow. They were taking turns on the leaf swing. It must be so much fun to play on that swing. It's a shame I'm too heavy for it. Harry Hedgehog sighed. His friends didn't know what to say. It's Harry Hedgehog's 10th birthday next week, the ladybird said. He'll be 10 years old, the little snail nodded. What do you think he'd like for his birthday? I know, Balthazar exclaimed and jumped to his feet. A swing! That's a super idea. Let's make a big swing for Harry, Dolly said enthusiastically. The little friends got to work immediately. They brought a saw, a hammer, nails and screws and searched for some strong branches. They tied the swing to thick wooden poles with very strong string. When the swing was ready, they all went to Balthazar's house to bake a cake. They cracked eggs and stirred the butter. The mixer whirred away and wooden spoons clattered in bowls. The little bee's kitchen was soon filled with delicious smells. They decorated the cake all over with cherries, raisins and walnuts. Let's put candles on it, Flutter said. Yes, 10 candles, Dolly nodded. Let's write a letter to Harry, Berry said. Dear Harry, please come to Balthazar's house at lunchtime. We'll all see you there. Can you take it to Harry, please? Berry asked. But don't say a word about the cake and the swing, Dolly shouted after him. Balthazar and Stanley put the cake on a round table and carried it out of the house. The little ants were playing hide and seek, and suddenly the smallest ant ran right into the table. You tipped the table over! The cake's ruined! Balthazar moaned. The cake! What are we going to do now? Dolly sobbed. Harry Hedgehog will be here any minute and he won't have a cake, Berry said sadly. The little ants felt very sorry for what they'd done, but one of them had an idea. Let's gather lots of fruit and berries and build a big pile. It'll be almost like a cake, won't it? That's a good idea, Stanley said. I know Harry loves fruit. Berry, Dolly, Balthazar, Stanley and the little ants began to gather fruit in the forest. Eddie the potato beetle, Zephyr the dragonfly and Rosita the rose beetle helped them too. They soon had a very big pile indeed. Stanley stuck 10 candles on top of the fruit, just seconds before Bubble arrived with Harry Hedgehog. Happy birthday, Harry! They all shouted. Wow, look at all that delicious fruit, my favourite. Thank you very much, the hedgehog exclaimed. We've got a surprise for you, Dolly said, and they led Harry to the swing. Harry was very surprised. What a big swing! Can I use it? He asked cheerfully. Yes, we built it for you, Berry replied. Hooray! Now I can swing too! Thank you so much, Harry said thankfully. Then they stood around the fruit pile and began to eat. They ate and ate until nearly all the fruit was gone. They stuck the leftover apples and pears on Harry's spikes, and he took them home to his mossy house. Harry went to bed with a happy smile and looked forward to tomorrow, when he'd swing with his friends again.
August, the moon seesaw. One afternoon in August, the forest friends decided to search for shooting stars in the sky. Let's go up to the top of the hill. We're sure to see them from there, said Dolly. And we can visit the moon beetle, Flutter added. The moon beetle was sitting in front of his house, enjoying the summer sunshine. He was delighted to see his friends and he invited them inside. Oh, I'm so happy you came. What brought you to these parts? he asked. We'd like to search for shooting stars with you, Berry explained. Super! I'll make some lemonade. Let's make a seesaw while we're waiting, said Stanley. Good idea, Balthazar agreed. They found some long planks at the bottom of the garden. They sawed and hammered, and the seesaw was soon complete. But when Stanley sat on it, the wood made a loud noise and broke in two. The plank was too weak. We need to strengthen it, the bee-boy complained. So they set to work once more, and the seesaw was ready in no time. But when Flutter and Dolly sat on it, it didn't see or saw. Ah, we made the screws too tight, the stag beetle grumbled. So they set to work once more. But when they were done, the bit in the middle snapped clean in half. We'll never get it right, and it's getting late for building things, Balthazar announced. I've got one last idea, the moon beetle said with a secretive smile. Oh, moon, please come down here to us. And the moon came down until it reached the top of the hill. Then the moon beetle rolled over to the moon and whispered in its ear. The moon grinned and simply said, Okay. The seesaw's here. You can sit on it. But hurry, because the moon can't stay for long, the moon beetle instructed. We can't leave you out, said Flutter. And they laughed and played until a sparkling star house landed on the ground nearby. And who should step out of the door but the silent star girl? Oh, Star Girl, said the moon, you must have been surprised when I suddenly vanished from the sky. But I was just helping out these friends with a seesaw ride. Star Girl! It's super to see you. Come and watch the shooting stars with us too, the butterfly girl cried, and she hugged her old friend. It's time for me to say goodbye because I have to go back to the night sky, the moon told them, and it started to rise upwards. They did not have to wait long before they saw their first shooting star. After that, there were so many stars shooting around that it was hard to keep count. When the last ball of light had flashed across the sky, the star girl stepped back into her house and flew up into the sky. Then the little friends all set off home. The moon beetle snuggled up in bed and soon fell fast asleep, and the night was filled with the gentle tinkle of pretty flowers.
Little kids and big kids. There were 2 football pitches next to the kindergarten. The little kids played next to the pine tree. Bubble the baby beetle was the captain, the little bark beetle was goalie, and the ant boys made up the rest of the team. The big kids played in the shade of the oak tree. Stanley the stag beetle, Balthazar the bumblebee, Eddie the potato beetle, and Berry the snail boy. The little kids played with a spotty rubber ball. The big kids had a proper football. One autumn day, Balthazar picked up the little kid's ball and he started to do tricks with it. Look at this, he teased. Give it back, it's ours, Bubble whined. I only want to show you how high I can kick it, boasted Balthazar, and he gave the rubber ball a mighty kick. He kicked it so hard that the ball burst. Now there's only one ball left. The little kids can have it in the morning and the big kids can play with it in the afternoon, the kindergarten teacher decreed. The big kids kept taking the ball from the little kids. And the little kids would steal it from the big kids. They were constantly quarrelling. Why don't you play together? Dolly asked the boys. Together? Never. The little kids are weedy and clumsy, yelled Stanley the stag beetle. And the big kids are horrid and pushy, the little ant boy shouted back. Stop being so silly. Play a match instead. Little kids versus big kids. How can 4 little kids win against 4 big kids? The bark beetle complained. All right then. Leapy and I will join in with the little kids. Then there'll be 6 of us against 4 big kids. How about that? The ladybird girl asked. Super! They all agreed. They started to play. They had so much fun that they hardly noticed the time fly by. In the end, thanks to a tricky goal from Bubble, the little kids won the match 5-4. Same again tomorrow, Balthazar said to Bubble the baby beetle. We can play a rematch. The next day they played the rematch. This time, the big kids beat Bubbles' team 4-3. The little kids aren't so clumsy after all, Stanley grumbled, and the 2 captains shook hands. A new boy came to kindergarten the day after that. The little flea brought his own stripy ball, and he let the little kids play with it. This meant that Bubbles' team went back to the pine tree and the big kids stayed on the larger pitch. They sometimes played together after that, but they did not count the goals.
March. Spring Dance. It was March and spring arrived at last. The little friends decided to hold a festival to welcome the new season. The girls, Dolly, Flutter, Leapy, Zephyr and Rosita, were planning a special spring dance. We should do the dance in flowery dresses, Flutter the butterfly girl told the others. Then we need to sew them with special skirts that twirl around, added Zephyr the dragonfly. They all set hard to work and the 5 dresses were soon complete. They span gaily around in front of the mirror and began to rehearse their dance. All of a sudden, one of the mushrooms called over to them. You can borrow our caps for the spring dance if you like. Really? You'd lend us your caps? Rosita the rose beetle asked with a sunny smile. Yes, we'll lend them to you, but please bring them back afterwards. Thank you. The festival is just about to begin. We'll bring your caps back right after the dance, promised Leapy the grasshopper girl. That afternoon, all the forest friends gathered in the meadow. They all brought cakes and biscuits and some had even made lemonade. Elliot the click beetle brought his accordion. Later on, Alfonso the cricket also appeared. He brought his fiddle and started to play. And then Dolly, Flutter, Rosita, Leapy and Zephyr arrived and performed their special dance. That was super! They all clapped at the end. They all had a super evening until the little friends started to get tired. "It's time for bed," said Flutter, and they all said goodbye. "Oh, we forgot to take the caps back to the mushrooms," Leapy announced. "I'm going that way home. I'll take them back," Berry offered, and the girls happily accepted his help. He set off down the path, and when he got there, he placed the 5 caps on the heads of the 5 snoozing mushrooms. The next morning, the canary chick pecked impatiently on Leapy's window. "What's wrong?" "I don't know. All I know is that the mushrooms are shouting out your name." "You got all our caps mixed up," they grumbled. "The blue one's mine, the brown one's his, the red one should go here, the orange one there and the yellow one over there." "Okay, I'll sort them out right away," Leapy reassured them. "I'm sorry, I should have brought them back because I promised. Do you know what? We'll do our spring dance to cheer you up, okay?" "We'd love to see it," the mushrooms smiled. The 5 girls soon got together and danced their dance. The mushrooms enjoyed the whole thing and waved for the longest time when the girls left.